Girl, hi. So today we need to talk about Ayesha Curry and Taylor Swift. I know they don't go together at all, but this tea is already lukewarm. I've been gone for so long, so let's just talk about both real quick. Miss Ayesha, flowers first, she's gorgeous, and I would be her friend. I think I would hang out with her. She seemed cool. Ayesha Curry is the wife of Steph Curry and a NBA living legend. We are all familiar with Steph Curry, but we've only really been able to get to know Ayesha through these controversial internet moments she's been having over the years, going viral, which she's doing again recently in the media for this interview clip. I will also go ahead and play the other videos that left a bad taste in the mouths of some fans right behind it to give you a better idea as to why everyone is mad at her, and we'll talk after.
Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's one of those things you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're men just don't get as much scrutiny. They can maybe tell him your fucking shots suck tonight, but the looks and all of that is just not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of it's effing stupid. It's not true. So why are you? And I'm but wait, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being I have goals for myself. This doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm almost I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you.
Something that really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, there are all these women throwing themselves. But me, the past 10 years, I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it. And I'm is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
My man Steph Curry in the house. Y'all give it up for Steph Curry. Steph.
Okay, excuse the audio switch up here. Editor me, because it's been taking me, y'all don't know. My editing software has gone down. It's been taking me over a week to get this video out. But here we have Freddie Gibbs with a bitch wanna marry you, use up your money, then go on a podcast unhappy, and somebody co-signing it talking about hateful and ungrateful with a picture of Jada Pinkett Michelle Obama, Remy Ma, and Ayesha Curry, Mount Rushmore. Mount Ungrateful. That is crazy. That's hilarious. Okay. So my true take on this situation is that only because of their status, I think that keeping this private would have just helped. Like, it would have saved Ayesha some scrutiny, and I hope that all of this criticism online is not affecting her mental health. But outside of that, I don't think I don't think she was wrong for anything that she said at all. I think she just might lack awareness as to how she comes off at times. But these are two grown people who have real lives. They've been through a lot and they are famous. They're constantly sitting under a microscope. And y'all are picking apart every little thing the girl does. When in all reality, she's just bored. Like, people are trying to paint her out to be this villain, saying she's jealous of Steph, which I think is a projection. I think that they're jealous of her because she boldly expressed that her initial goal she had set for herself before getting married, they don't align with what people might assume. And she never once said she regretted it or that she would change one thing. She simply stated that her life turned out differently than she thought it would. And I will say the clip of her pretending to take the ring off comes across as, to me, a light, flirty joke. I think it might have been just all in good fun, trying to boost a man's confidence. Is it a joke that I would want my partner to make? Absolutely not, especially on national television. So I definitely say not the best move, not the best look, but not necessarily telling of her true intentions, as well as the clip of her on her phone when they were shouting out Steph. All I have to say to that is that woman is a mom. Y'all have no idea what that lady was doing on her phone. She's a mother. So, overall, I hope that Ayesha just becomes more aware of her status and doesn't keep allowing media and blogs to meddle with her relationship and public perception or reputation. I wish she would start a business or something, since she wants to be like more career oriented. Like, I would love to see it. I would support it. I'd also love to see grown people on the internet staying out of other grown people's business and not dragging and defaming people that you only know parasocially. The amount of women I saw saying, just pass Steph to me because she complaining too much. And like all the men whose life savings couldn't even compare to Steph's pinky toenail clipping, calling her an ungrateful gold digger. All that has just been quite embarrassing to see, to say the least. Let's elevate our awareness as a collective, as a society. Now, speaking of awareness, I'm bringing up Taylor Swift's album, not for the reason you probably think. Flowers first, don't ever play with Taylor. That's number one. I don't care how much charisma or talent anyone thinks she lacks. They love to be like, Taylor is so bland, Wonder Bread, Miracle Whip, white girl, that they don't understand why, like, she's famous, why does she have a following, all of that. When my girl is quite obviously a powerhouse hit maker, she been running the game before the game even really started for real. Taylor is the only artist, period, who will make rappers like Drake and Kanye push their release dates back. Like, hold on. Our song, You Belong With Me, Bad Blood, Blank Space, Cardigan, Wildest Dream, Style, Delicate, Endgame, Cruel Summer, I Knew You Were Trouble, We Are Never Getting Back Together, 22. If you don't like not one of the songs I just named, you're banned from music and this video. Leave right now. It doesn't have to be your favorite song, but like, y'all just act like she has no bobs. When I didn't even name some of the biggest ones, like Shake It Off, because I don't listen to that. But everyone is saying this album, this recent album she just dropped, Life of a Showgirl, is trash. I'm a Swiftie, so I listened, and it's not trash, but it's getting thrown away, definitely. The main general public critiques were the cringy lyrics they featured on some of these songs, like, I'm not a bad bitch, this isn't savage, or did you girl boss too close to the sun? Or the whole song, Wood, talking about Travis Kelce's Wood. Also, just the lack of incorporating the showgirl theme sonically. The album was alright sonically, for real. It's really just vibe, aura, and nuance. It's missing just substance, you know? Everyone's saying all her music sounds like that, like it's always sounded like that, and the Swifties are just now hearing it, like we're just waking up. Y'all are gaslighters. I just want to put that out there. Stop trying to gaslight us just because you're so happy she finally missed with this album. Y'all have been waiting for Taylor to miss, and you got that, but like, don't do that, okay? Every song I named is an older song, but it eats up this entire album by itself. Every song I named eats up Life of a Showgirl standing alone as a single. But the biggest controversial element is people believe that she was being shady to Travis Kelce's ex, who is a black lady. Apparently all his exes are black ladies, which is super ironic to end up with like quote unquote the whitest lady ever. But the girlies are like mad at Taylor for that. But I'm kind of mad at the girlies though. I mean, excuse me. I'm kind of mad at the girlies though. I mean, I'm mad that Taylor wasted my time listening to that album, and she has me looking crazy for supporting her because I've been repping her for real. But this specific video that a girl made on TikTok and it went viral, it blew up, it pissed me off a little, and I'm probably about to piss y'all off, but let me play the video, okay, first, and then we gonna talk about why I'm pissed off a little bit.
Taylor Swift's new album is many things. Unfortunately, good is not one of them. I knew the album wasn't going to be good as soon as the title was revealed, but the promo pics made me curious, so I have listened to the album in full. And now, having listened to it, the album's problem is glaringly obvious. The problem is Taylor Swift is aging out of being a white girl. Before you scroll, let me cook. When Taylor was a teenager, she wanted to be a pop star, so her parents decided to take the country route. Keep in mind, this is the 2000s. Pop music was highly sexual, it was sleazy, and then you had things like bling rap. It's not a place for a little white girl. Country music, on the other hand, loves a little white girl, and she's blonde, they'll eat her up. So her family moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to launch her country career. That's why for the first several years of her career, she faked a southern accent. She was trying to fit in, seem authentic. Once the pop landscape started to change the late 2000s and early 2010s, that's when she started to transition to making pop music. And now to talk about white girls. White girls don't have sex. They don't know what that is. White girls they're cute, they're adorable, they're like dolls, they're precious, they have to be protected. Do you remember a couple months ago whenever parents would bring their kids to Sabrina Carpenter shows and then act aghast because Sabrina Carpenter, who is a highly sexual artist, was referencing sex on stage? Of course they were, because how could a short, cute little white girl who is also blonde, a blonde, cute little white girl, how could she possibly know what sex is? It's the assumption. A woman having sexual freedom and willingly engaging in sex is highly associated with blackness. You can see this most clearly when it comes to things like Disney and Nickelodeon stars. Miley Cyrus, she was Hannah Montana, all-American girl. And what does she do whenever she wanted to shed the Disney image and say, hey, I'm not just a little girl anymore? She releases Can't Be Tamed in bangers. Ariana Grande, another cute little white girl. What does she do whenever she wants to shed the childhood image? She releases Dangerous Woman in Sweetener. They would do things like hang out with rappers. They would incorporate black music styles into their own music. So that way, whenever they'd be sexual, it's like, oh, I'm not just a little white girl anymore. And over time, they would drift away from that because that wasn't who they authentically were. They were just using that as a way to escape the chains of being a white girl. Taylor Swift has never had to do that, and why would she? She makes being a white girl so fucking profitable. And the thing about Taylor Swift is that being a white girl is not just profitable for her, it's her entire brand. Because she's just, like, so awkward. And whenever she dances on stage, she's, like, bad because she's like, awkward. And she loves, like, cats and baking and, like, hanging out with her fans. And she would likely continue with this forever. Except for one small problem. Taylor Swift is 35 years old. And it's not like she's showing signs of aging or anything, but the brand of being a white girl is very much being a white girl. What happens in a few years whenever she's 40? What happens whenever she starts to get wrinkles? Once you're middle-aged, it's not cute anymore to be awkward. So she's aging out of being a white girl, but she doesn't have a brand or really even a sense of self outside of being a white girl. Also, low-key, this is the entire key to her relationship with Travis Kelce, which is not going to go well, but that's a story for another day. And keep in mind, the world has been moving on. An artist like Sabrina Carpenter could not exist 10 years ago. There was nowhere in the pop landscape for her. For like a cute little white girl who's that sexual. It didn't exist. And then on top of that, things have been rapidly changing politically. So people want different things from women now. And the life of a showgirl is a testament to Taylor's inability to rise to the occasion. Like on the song Wish List. Oh, everybody wants bright lights and designer things, and they want like a fat ass. But me, then we get to the chorus, but me, I just want to have all of your kids. I want to have all of your kids, and then I want to live in a house, and I want the driveway to have a basketball hoop in it for our kids. And Taylor's personal struggle between her being her own woman and her being a cute little white girl is really embodied by the song Wood. It's called Wood because it's in reference to Travis Kelce's, that. But the song isn't sexual at all, because the song isn't about sex. It's about a woman justifying the fact that she has sex. The song starts with her picking petals off of a daisy. Oh, he loves me not. Taylor portrays herself as being super insecure until Travis Kelce digmatizes her and opens up her eyes. And keep in mind, white girls cannot be sexual beings. It's not that she has sexual feelings, it's that a man came along and unlocked it in her. The curse was lifted. You see, you guys, it's not about sex at all. It's about love. His love was the key that opened my thighs. I don't have sexual feelings. I'm just a little white girl. Because this album is supposed to be her embodying her sexual energy, thus, life of a showgirl. But Taylor either feels unable or isn't willing or whatever it is you want it to be. Taylor doesn't actually embody it. She doesn't explore it because the embodiment of her sexual energy would come at the expense of the brand of Taylor Swift. It's seemingly not compatible, or at least she thinks, or her team thinks, that it's not compatible. So she has to be her own fully embodied grown woman in order to keep up with the times, but she also has to be like a cute little white girl in order to keep up with the brand of Taylor Swift. And in trying to do both, she successfully does nothing. I would be really curious to know if the album was even her idea, especially since so many of the songs sound like rejected tracks off of some of her old albums. Also, how are you gonna have an album called Life of a Showgirl and yet not a single fucking song on the album has a brass section? Showgirl music is big band, it's blaring horns, it's a hell of a lot of fun, and it just did not exist on this album. Not to mention, none of the songs actually have anything to do with being a showgirl, and really not even the song The Life of a Showgirl. Like, she could have just used the word follies once, and I would have been satisfied. But discussing why the music isn't good sonically is not really the purpose of this video. If you have any questions or you disagree with me, please let me know. I love thinking about white women, and Taylor Swift is just, she's the embodiment of it. She really is.
Okay, so this irritated me because I've heard so many black content creators already say this. They've been saying that. And to see it blow up and be so well received simply because a white girl on TikTok said it, it just made me a little mad. This is not an epiphany she had on her own, y'all. And she's receiving so much credit for just like being so woke. I'll protect her at all costs. All that. My criticism is of how late y'all are. And how you only can hear black opinions when they come out of white people's mouths. Also, the whole white girls aren't sexual thing is really weird to me. I grew up in a predominantly white area. And white people make up the majority of the population in America. So trying to pretend white women don't be hunching just gives me like icky, like weird fake vibes. Like, I don't know. I understand class, but we all be hunching. Like, that's natural. And especially like the statistics show, especially the white women be hunching. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that whole, like, when she was saying like, oh, white girls, like white all girls, especially during we all say, but women, like, so I you know, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. Like, associating promiscuity with blackness will never feel good to me. But I get what she's saying. Like, black women, especially in the industry, are definitely hypersexualized. It feels like it just feels like to me that the black women were forced to be that way though. And we all have sex, so there's kind of like an authenticity factor to being kind of like openly sexual or sexually liberated, compared to white women who are definitely hunching, but going out of their way to seem innocent is very strange to me. I don't know about, like, yeah, that's just odd to me. Also, she's saying like, oh, Taylor couldn't be sexual, da 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 da. Oh, Sabrina is the reason why, like, huh? Madonna? Lady Gaga? Hello? I love Sabrina so bad, but I hate how everyone acts like she's just pushing so many boundaries in pop music for white women. Like, I understand that she's more tame, and I really do love that. Like, I enjoy that she's more tame and classy and has that baddie tease feel to it. But I'm just saying, excuse me, I grew up with Gaga saying she want to take a ride on a disco stick on the radio. Literally, I asked my mom what a disco stick was, and nobody could tell me. So, I don't know. Sabrina, that me espresso. Also, let's not act like when Ariana Grande, Miley, Post Malone, and Justin Bieber, like, were in their light skin era, like, that was one of their best, most iconic eras for all of them. It ate down every single time. But with that, it is sad to see them depart from it, as it does remind you of exactly what she said. It was never authentically them. It was a vehicle, which hurts. Like, when people say my culture is not your costume, like, seriously, because it shows, it's a blatant, like, almost disrespectful, offensive reminder that my mannerisms and style and vernacular are only vehicles of success for them, never for us or me, anyone that looks like me. So I actually appreciate Taylor authentically. That's something I've always valued. People want you to be authentic as long as it, like, fits the ideal aesthetic. Like, oh yeah, like, totally just be yourself. As long as yourself is cool and sexy, though, then yeah, totally be yourself. And Taylor is herself, knowing, like, she's not cool or sexy. Like, I really like that about her. Now, she has done some very questionable things and kept some extremely questionable company. Absolutely. But as a black lady myself, I always only enjoy Taylor's music. The reality of being black is you can't look up to a lot of white creators whose art you may admire, because in reality, most of them are prejudiced. How many of them get exposed for being racist every year? Saying some racist, crazy, shady something, like, all the time behind closed doors. I'm a real fan of the art, but I can say, I pay attention to things like that. The only black women I've seen Taylor hang out with are Zendaya and Ice Spice. That says a lot. And the Ice Spice situation was just so obviously damage control, because the guy Taylor was dating said something racist about Ice Spice. So she threw her on the Karma feature. Sad. Like, one of her worst songs ever. And the white people Taylor hangs out with are never seen hanging out with other people of color or supporting people of color or people of color's issues, social issues. You never see her or her, social circles standing up, speaking out, any of that. Some of the people she hangs out with are actually known for being racist or just not being great people, like Blake Lively. So the song Canceled on the album feels a little bit like a slap in the face as well, just a little. But Taylor has never been relatable to me fully. I just like her music, separate the art and the artist, All her fans they want to be in an uproar now because despite you being white and whatever, you can't relate to her. So now you feel a type of way because I don't know. But welcome to the club. Just take the bops and leave the rest. Anyway, comment below all opinions on anything you think I should have touched on, what you would like for me to speak on next. All of it is welcome. It is a safe space. Also, if you're not doing anything, subscribe if you feel like it, or just come back. I might get into this Cardi and Nicki situation because they made me pretty mad too, but not for the reasons everyone else is saying. So, but we'll see. I'll talk to you later. Girl, bye.